felek saldın beni cevri cepağa. Hey hey felek saldın beni cevri cepağa. Derdim bulgaç yıkılap demem sen bir vapağa. Derdim bulgaç yıkılap demem sen bir vapağa. Derdim bulgaç yıkılap demem sen bir vapağa.
Welcome window to China and the Xinyu One. Today we're going to have a book meeting. This book is called Life Leaves Clues.
My name is Andrew Patan. I'm the founder and CEO of the Social Tea House.
So what do you do for the community?
Well, we specialize in importation of finer grade teas and also Chinese and Japanese tea ceremonies and tea culture.
My name is Edmund Zhou. I'm the Chief Inspirational Officer for a company that's called Impact Speaking Academy. And what we do is we teach kids from grades 3 through 10 the art of public speaking.
Great job. I saw your stories was published on the newspaper. Congratulations.
Thank you
What's
very
about
much.
that story?
Yes, we had a magazine article that was recently published about our story. And it just highlights the fact that kids, no matter what background they are all afraid of public speaking, including adults. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we teach the kids public speaking because they have the gift of time. It's the sooner that they can get over the fear of stage fright, the fear of losing what they're going to say, then what happens is that they have all this gift throughout their lifetime to keep improving instead of improving at the age of 50 or 60.
Wow,
or as an
we
adult.
talk about more.
Yes.
My name is Lassine Doumbia. I am originally from Mali, West Africa. I been in this country now for many years, but my focus really is volunteering services throughout the community and here in Fairfax. Before I used to live in DC, I was volunteering there as well. So that is my outside my regular job. That is what keeps me going and what inspires me.
I saw you have a lot of passion on that. You have been volunteers how many years? 6 years?
6 years. I also built school in my home country. I started with 1 classroom. Now I have 7. I'm looking to build it to 9 classrooms so the kids in my village don't go to another village until the high school age. And I also build a health center. I have a health center and then also have a healing center, traditional healing center that I built. And sometimes you have broken people, the only option the hospital will give them, cut their limb off. We'll remove some of the backbone and we'll put it back together so they have the limb to walk around with. So I'm proud of that. And sometimes I get involved in politics. I help elect some of the or they will come to our community, including our current president. So I get involved in all of those things. All of this is volunteering because I realized that it's not about me. So it's about what I do.
Window to China and Xinyu One has reached out to the hundreds of Chinese community, Asian community, and American community on performance, interview in education, politics, culture, etc. It's a link for all the communities. Xinyu and Judy Wu, the publisher AC Business News, are making joint efforts to promote the program on Newspaper Weekly. Window to China and Xinyu One is a 30 minutes long English program. It will be available on YouTube, Facebook, Google+, AC Business News by keywords Window to China and Xinyu One.
So you maintain those people around you because that make it one village. Without one of those, you don't have the whole package of village. So if you have to leave your village to go to a blacksmith to another village, then you don't have, your village is not complete. So that's what I took up here. I wanted to see whether or not people have access to the similar thing culturally, instrument, tool that they have to use to do different things. And then I worked with, at the time, with Sharon Boulevard, and so they asked me if I volunteer for the park because they were looking for a volunteer. I said, I'll do it. And they tell me the scheme, and then I'll be part of selecting which group we will bring to the park in my community, not all the park, but in mine, which is right here in Annandale Ocean Hall Park. I would say I would do it.
Having a deep understanding and acceptance. You know, part of my philosophy is, you can live in peace, and to live in peace, you have to have a tolerance. But to gain tolerance, you got to have an education. And through those three pieces, they all interconnect. And if we can bring people into that same mindset, we'd have less conflict and more open mind.
What do you think?
Well, I think what you see even in this group that we have very different backgrounds, very different cultures. But there's one thing that binds us all together, which is simply to be kind to each other. And that brings on respect with each other, and everything then becomes very peaceful and very civil. And it doesn't really matter what culture you come from. It's just that being kind and being respectful are the two things that binds it all together.
Well, last year I was selected to be the Best Volunteer of the Year, and then they had a big ceremony to receive me, to give me a gift and plaque and things. Initially I said I'm not going to go because I'm doing it for free. Because if you get me used to getting money, maybe I want more. So my mind don't work that way. I say if I'm doing this for free, then I have to, everything associated with it has to be free. But in terms of the culture part of it, even when I was in Brazil, I created a company called Africa Brazil. They need to bring those Africans to understand the culture of Africa. And so instead of fighting or being angry against somebody else, if you know their culture, it give you limitation, it give you boundary, and then it tell you what might be offensive language for that culture, or what offensive gesture for that culture. In terms of what I do here for the park, is just give the people a little flavor of different costume, different dance, different musical. And some people, you have to go very slow for them because their mind is not conditioned to understand deeper part of the culture, because deeper part of the culture go back to family. And then the key there is that maybe that is not going to apply to everybody right away. But if they start seeing all of this culture together and see their family, and see one of the musical instruments, the xylophone last night, belonged to this older man who brought it here from Vietnam. And then the lady was crying. I asked, why are you crying? She said she had stopped teaching, and now she's gonna start teaching because I told her, who's gonna teach? You're gonna leave this, you're gonna let it go, or you're gonna continue to harness the culture or for your father's name and then the family name? Because I told you, It's not about you.
தேடி தேடி
Window to China and Xinyu One has reached out to the hundreds of Chinese community, Asian community, and American community on performance, interview in education, politics, culture, etc. It's a link for all the communities. Xinyu and Judy Wu, the publisher AC Business, are making joint efforts to promote the program on Newspaper Weekly. Window to China and Xinyu One is a 30 minutes long English program. It will be available on YouTube, Facebook, Google+, AC Business News by keywords Window to China and Xinyu One. I forgive you means I love you. How do you understand this? Do you have ever used I forgive you to somebody?
Well, remember, in my culture, normally people will, when you're almost dying, people will get closer to you. Mm-hmm. And then most of the time, the person dying will express themselves. And because
kind of confess.
Not confess per se, but we don't call it confess.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You want to listen that last story because that's the one you keep with you. And so that's the key. Whether you call it forgiveness or you call it something else, at least that's how we learn. Is part of a learning process. Somebody has to tell you something because we mentally mold things our own mind. But unless you have seen it happen before, as the doctor said, life story does not happen certain way because if you're gonna learn from your own mistake, you're in a bad road. There are so many other mistakes happen in your present. You don't have to repeat some of those. You could just probably practice one, but you don't have this. Sometimes we don't have the same outcome because we are not designed as an individual the same way. So if you think about it, the process of success or not being successful or have the forgiveness or not being forgiven is the same relate to who you are and whose presence you are in. If you are the right person present, they will forgive you. If you are the other person, they will insult you. Even if you're asking for forgiveness, they will not take it. So you have to just take as it comes. And you are only human. You could only control your own behavior. And sometimes this other thing will happen, and you don't probably have to consume it, meaning you don't have to listen to it. You could simply walk away.
You know, Mahatma Gandhi said, it takes a strong person to forgive.
Yeah, I agree. So how about you? What do you think?
Well, I think that much like in life, there are many times when we have to forgive. And in doing so, it's always not very easy to do that. But once you do it, there's a calm, there's a peace of forgiveness that allows me to move on.
I personally, very young age, about 12, I moved from my village because when I was 7, I decided that I would tell my dad to go to school. So I went to school, and then 5th grade, my dad thought it was enough. So I have to move away. I ran away. I told my mom that I'm going to run away, continue my education.
So now, did you forgive your father, or do not have any regret?
The impression that I had was he wanted me in the farm, but I want to do something different. So it was not as a guilt on my part. I just said, well, he has a vision, I have another vision. And then, so I went on with my vision. So it was until 2004 when he was already 94, and we talked about it, and then he said, if I didn't do that time, I would not have done all of these other things for the village, and not only for me, for him, but all the other people in the village and in the country. So
you are right. We keep our vision clear. We be happy then in our road, and then we will attract the people. We have the same path, we have the same vision, then we will get more people around us. So be happy, then make other people happy. Thank you so much for your wonderful contribution. Now, thank you for watching. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
فلا